Damon Hill fan in the world, George Harrison. George, who flew in especially from the States to watch the Grand Prix here.
Hello.
Hello and welcome.
Thank you.
How's the heartbeat?
It's pretty good at the moment, yeah.
You are a big friend of Damon's, George, and you just came in to lend some moral support.
Yeah, well, I've come to the Adelaide Grand Prix a number of times in the past, and I like it down here. It's kind of friendly, and it is the last race of the year, so everybody's in a more light-hearted mood. Although this year it's pretty tense because of the situation that's going on with Schumacher and Hill.
It's great to end the season like this, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and I do like Damon, I must admit. I mean, I know Schumacher's a fine driver, but I like Damon and I respect what he's done, you know. I mean, everybody talks about, you know, they have an opinion on him as a driver, but, you know, we have to remember that Damon really struggled on his own. He didn't have all these managers and agents and huge organizations behind him. In fact, he was a messenger on his motorbike, and he did have a difficult time, lost his dad when he was 13, and I think he's worked very hard, and he's a good driver. He's proving himself. He's getting better by the race.
Everyone wants to keep their fingers crossed, hope there's no problems, and maybe he can win the championship.
Well, Schumacher certainly doing his best to make sure he gets up onto the front row of the grid, and he's 83 thousandths of a second away from Nigel Mansell. We're about to come on to the quickest part of the circuit, this Jones Straight. It's not so much here, it's when you go through the fourth gear corner, over the curb, now with Michele Alboreto, not somebody Michael Schumacher will be very happy to have ahead of him. Michele stays well over to the right, no problem at all, and he's lost that time, but again, that's simply just down to horsepower. He now has to try and claw it back. And more importantly, he looks to have a clear track ahead of him. No distractions, no concern about the car ahead of me. Are they going to? Will they let me through? Whatever.
Well, the man looks awesome. This is the man who has taken the provisional pole position with some 24 minutes to go.
Well, Schumacher, he's lost just over a tenth of a second to himself, and he's pushing very hard. You could see the car moving around, and again,
He decided not to use as well, so that's obviously his style of driving.
Oh, and Nigel getting into trouble, going through the chicane, very quick in, compromised the exit. But I think the point that I think maybe this was a conversation that took place between members of another team and some of the, and trouble, look at this, spinners, and that's a Bennett, and Mansell had it very quickly, and it was Johnny Herbert. And that's disappointment indeed, because Nigel Mansell had no option whatsoever, reacted extremely quickly, threw the car into a spin, and Nigel, don't stall it. He will be very angry indeed. That's the kind of, and there we repeat what happened with Johnny Herbert. Nigel pops around the corner. Well, you see Morbidelli and Alboreto, and there's Nigel, much wider exit, no choice but to throw the car into a spin. A Lotus parked on the inside of the corner.
On his way to complete his 10th lap, so the 11th and 12th lap to go for Nigel Mansell, and just under 4 minutes to go in this first qualifying session for Sunday's 82 laps, the Adelaide Grand Prix. And he's taken provisional pole away from Michael Schumacher. Nigel Mansell has taken provisional pole away from the Benetton Ford team, and that is good news for Damon Hill, and now he's gone straight on.
This is Mansell deciding he's not going to make it. He then eventually turns to the left. Now another of those famous donuts. He'll turn the right-hand lock, boot it. There we go. But Michael Schumacher's got 3 remaining.
Well, John, I think Michael Schumacher has got one remaining because he's running out of time.
Indeed, yes.
Remaining.
Yeah, indeed, time is the factor that's going to bring Schumacher's run. And there is Michael Schumacher, who's had an almighty accident, and that is left, front, left, rear, and Michael Schumacher, and this is just, I think, after start finish the center chicane. Well, look at the energy. That car hit probably at 200 kilometers per hour.
Gonna need some rescue remedy.